Turning to the day's other headlines, the Pentagon says it's investigating Arizona Senator Mark Kelly over a video in which he and a number of other U.S. lawmakers urged U.S. troops to refuse to follow illegal orders. Defense officials say Kelly's comments may have interfered with the loyalty, morale, or good order and discipline of the armed forces. Kelly retired at the rank of captain. He would have to be recalled to active duty by the defense secretary to face any disciplinary action. In a statement, Kelly said, "I've given too much to this country to be silenced by bullies who care more about their own power than protecting the Constitution." The Trump administration formally designated Venezuela's Cartel de los Soles as a foreign terror organization today. The move is part of a sweeping new pressure campaign against President Nicolas Maduro's government, as President Trump openly weighs whether the U.S. should take military action against Venezuela. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has accused the group of being responsible for terrorist violence. But the Maduro government denies the cartel even exists, and regional experts say it's less a single organization than a nickname. They describe it as an umbrella term for high-ranking Venezuelan military and political figures accused of profiting from the international narcotics trade. Turning now to the Middle East, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation says it's permanently ending its operations in the territory. In a statement, the U.S. and Israeli-backed group claims it was the only aid operation that reliably and safely provided free meals in Gaza. But its operations were shrouded in secrecy, and its sites were marred by violence. Hundreds of Palestinians were reportedly killed by Israeli troops as they sought aid, though Israel maintains it only fired warning shots to control the crowds. It comes as hospital officials in Gaza say at least 24 people were killed in Israeli strikes this past weekend. Israel says it was responding to gunfire on its troops. Authorities in Gaza told the NewsHour that the strike targeted displaced Palestinians.
It is important to note that this all happens during a period that should have been a ceasefire, but this violation was very clear today. Some of those targeted were intense. Now their bodies are completely charred.
Meantime, in Lebanon, thousands attended the funeral today for Hezbollah's top military commander who was killed in an Israeli strike this weekend in Beirut. Israel has been stepping up its attacks on Lebanon in recent weeks as it tries to push the country to move faster in disarming the militant group. The EPA is starting to allow the use of pesticides containing PFAS on food. It's part of an effort to roll back the regulation of what are called forever chemicals because they don't break down easily in the environment. Last week, the agency approved the use of 2 new pesticides that qualify as PFAS. It means that farmers could spread them on crops like romaine lettuce, broccoli, and potatoes. The Washington Post is reporting that agency plans to approve 4 more pesticides. Not much is known about their long-term impact, but PFAS have been linked to certain cancers, birth defects, and other health problems. In a statement to the NewsHour today, the EPA said it will provide transparent, science-based information on how the chemicals are evaluated. On Wall Street today, stocks enjoyed solid gains to start the Thanksgiving holiday week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added more than 200 points. The Nasdaq jumped nearly 600 points. The S&P 500 posted one of its best days since the summer. And a beloved star of Indian cinema, actor Dharmendra, has died. He rose to fame in the 1970s with hits like Sholay, Bollywood's take on a spaghetti western. At the time, the film was the highest-grossing Bollywood movie ever. Dharmendra was known as part action hero, part romantic lead. In a career spanning over 6 decades, he appeared in over 300 movies and is widely considered one of the greatest Indian actors of all time. Dharmendra had been in and out of the hospital in recent weeks. He was 89 years old. And Viola Fletcher, the oldest living survivor of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, has died. Fletcher was just 7 years old when a white mob destroyed the Greenwood district of Tulsa, once known as Black Wall Street, killing hundreds, burning businesses, schools, and churches, and leaving as many as 10,000 people homeless. Fletcher carried those memories for more than a century. In her later years, she became a national witness to history, speaking with students and journalists and testifying before Congress.
I will never forget the violence of the white mob when we left our home. I still see black men being shot. I hear the screams. I have lived through the massacre every day. Our country may forget this history, but I cannot.
Fletcher was one of 2 survivors who sued the state of Oklahoma seeking damages from the city. Last year, the state's Supreme Court rejected their case, dealing a serious setback to a decades-long fight for reparations. Fletcher's grandson, in confirming her passing, said she had a beautiful smile on her face. She loved life. She loved people. Viola Fletcher was 111 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, we remember Jimmy Cliff, the reggae singer who brought the music genre to audiences worldwide. Tamara Keith and Amy Walter break down the latest political headlines. How life is changing for trans Americans under the Trump administration. And a documentary explores the $3 billion industry that's been created to protect against school shootings.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.